Yay. Hello and welcome to the 57th episode of Out of State DMing. I'm your host, lluksblackheart, and joining me today is my co-host, Bacon. We will be
Hi.
going over first level sorcerer/wizard spells. So hopefully everyone enjoys. So we're going to be starting it off with a decent one, Alarm, which when casted on the area, wards the area for 2 hours per caster level. And what that pretty much does is when a entity enters it that's not considered authorized to enter it by the caster, the alarm goes off. Or when anything with inside the affected area leaves the area, it also sets off the alarm. And it can be either a auditory alarm, so that way everyone within the area gets woken up or at least alerted to something activating alarm, or a silent alarm that the caster hears, so only the caster is aware that something has breached the perimeter. So that's a good. I don't trust the party to wake me up, so I'm going to cast that before going to sleep spell. Especially when you get to at least around 4th or 5th level, because it's guaranteed to last the entire sleep rest cycle at that point. Then we got Endure Elements, which is another good one. It lets you exist comfortably in hot or cold environments. So if you're in a desert with that active, you're not going to suffer heat-based effects as much as everyone else. Or if you're in the Arctic, you can cast it and you're going to be more comfortable there than anyone else. It is a good way to upset the other party members in those environments, because if you don't prep enough of them, people are going to look at you like you're a bit of an ass, because like, oh yeah, we're all gonna freeze here in the Arctic while you're not. Yeah. Here's one of my favorite ones, Hold Portal. While it's active, it holds doors shut. Reason why I like it is because it can be used to stop entities from entering a space you're trying to deny them entry to. So, like, if you're in a dungeon and you want to make sure that for at least a set period of time, monsters can't come busting through a door to ruin the party's rest, hold portal. Or if you really, really don't want a party member to sneak off during the middle of the night to go loot stuff in the dungeon because you don't trust them during their watch, you can hold portal the door and not tell anyone, so they're locked in the room with you.
Or if you want to be a dick and hold all the rewards in the treasure room for yourself, hold portal after you run through the door.
There is that too. So it's like they're trying to figure out why can't they enter this door. It's you're like, I don't know, I'm trapped in here, guys. There's gas filling the room as you're shoving your battle
With
holding
all
sword
this
stuff.
beautiful loot.
Yeah. So you could deny other people stuff. Um or if you don't want them to get in the room before you, you cast it on the door when they're not paying attention, and now they can't go in there without you unless they have a means of bypassing the hold portal. Um, so you can have fun tormenting people with it. The next spell is protection from chaos/evil/good/law. So it gives you bonus to AC saves, counter mind control, and hedges out elementals and outsiders of the corresponding alignment. So it's a good protection spell. It is one of the ones that you don't see used all that much unless paladins are using it. Shield, which is an invisible disc that gives you a +4 to your AC and blocks magic missiles. Do you want to guess on how often that spell is used?
Not a whole lot.
Uh, the only actual times I've seen it use is when a monster or a bad guy has it, and they use it to protect themselves from party members who love magic missiles. Because then the party members freak out because they can't figure out why their magic missiles aren't working. Because like I hit him with 3 magic missiles so far. I can't cast it any more times, and he's still up. And it's like, I wonder why.
Yeah, he also hasn't taken damage. Congratulations.
It's like, uh,
Bro.
another one that can be fun is Grease. Um, I personally am a anal repentive butthole when it comes to players using it because there's a line between I want to use it on the enemies to make it easier for the party to defeat thy enemies or get away from thy enemies or stop the enemies from retreating. The because like that's combat related. Then there's this slight difference of I just want to annoy party members by just making them not be able to properly go through an area because they now have to do dex checks or fall down. And then it's different from this noble that we don't like, who's coming down those stairs. No one's gonna know that I
Grease the
cast the
handle.
grace spell that caused him to slip and fall down a very big staircase. It's a
And now
goofy
his neck is
prank.
broken.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what happened because when you fall down from the top of 40-foot stairs, and they're not the tiny, like, petite stairs. No, it's a nobleman's house. They're stairs that make the place look big by the fact that they're big. So he just slips and just fall down straight down that, and it's like, oh, I didn't kill him. It's like, yeah, you just assassinated him because you cast the grease spell that caused him to fall down. How are you not the bad guy? It was a prank.
Your mic your mic is doing a little bit of a derpy thing, buddy.
Oh, it is?
It's like it's a little it's a little it's coming through a little bit staticky. I'm only picking it up here and there.
How about now?
It's it's not bad. I can still hear it a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it's is it me? Hold on.
Well, it's one of those things that I still want to take care of. Give me one moment.
All right, I'm not hearing it now. Maybe it was me. That might have been. It might have been me.
Can you hear me
It
now?
was it was only doing it when it was your mic, but I was hearing it, so it might have just been my audio
Can
might
you
have
hear
been a
me
little
now?
fucked.
Okay, I had to readjust things to actually hear you. Can you say something? Oh, why isn't that not? Can you hear me now?
Gotcha.
Okay, for some weird reason, it was like not registering you or anything. Can you hear me better?
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're cool.
I try to be spot on when it comes to technical difficulties. Does
No, I know. I know.
Yeah.
That's why I brought it to your attention before I went and did anything about it.
Yeah. But just in case it was catchy, um, you heard everything clearly about the grace spell, correct?
Yeah, no, no. Everything was coming through pretty clear. It was at the end, like when you were like finishing talking, I was catching a little bit of static at the end of it.
Ah,
And like I said, it may have even just been me because after I unplugged my mic and plugged it back in, I didn't really hear it.
uh, well, I did unplug mine and plug it back in, and then disconnected and reconnected just to refresh everything. Okay. The next spell is one of my favorite spells, Mage Armor. When
Such
you
a great spell too.
Yeah, because like
So it's very underrated though.
I don't have any real AC bonus because I can't use any of that crap. Mage Armor. Now I have +4. So it's like it's great just on that aspect, and it is a spell that's not very used because a lot of people don't actually see the importance of it until they're like have a lot of levels and someone goes, well, why don't you use this? Because some example has been used. Uh,
I've noticed that a lot of people don't tend to not use mage armor is just because they don't understand completely how good it is, especially at later levels.
yeah.
You know,
It's
where
a
that AC, that little AC bump, even it may not always be the highest AC bump, but even that little AC bump is just so beautifully needed sometimes.
a +4 is a +4 is a +4.
Right.
And no matter if you're level
It may not
1, go ahead.
I say it may not be in comparison to that, that chest plate you're wearing that's like +19, but that +4 is still a big help in a clutch moment.
Yeah, when you don't
You know,
have
you
access,
you right.
yeah, not having access to your armor or for some reason
Or to
just
good armor.
yeah, it's still just a just in case. Uh, but still one of the spells that a lot of people just don't use until there's something in game that's like it's a +4 AC bonus. Why aren't you using it?
Yeah, it's a very good bonus. It's a very it's honestly probably one of the best spells that you can get at low level. And if you're not grabbing it as a warlock or sorcerer, you are wholeheartedly missing out, or you have a lot of faith in your team, in your party.
Yeah, and I love it when the arcanists have a high amount of faith in their team. But when I look at a table and I'm like, this is not going to end well because I know they're not going to cover their arcanist and he's going to get swung at by something. And then it's never
Yeah.
the party's fault.
I
When the
mean, let's be real here. I very seldomly ever trust the party, and yeah, mage armor, big help.
yeah,
Recommend it every time.
yeah, and you
If you are trusting, if you are putting that much faith in your party, I'm going to tell you what right now. At some point, they are going to absolutely fail you.
yeah, yeah, it does. All it's going to take is for one person to decide to not do something, and a monster goes from, what's going to be easy for me to hit and, take care of? Do I have an opening for the squishy spellcaster? Come here, pretty boy. As the
Yep,
sorcerer
yep.
starts sweating because he knows exactly who the monster's talking about.
As a sorcerer main, as somebody who almost exclusively plays mage characters, especially sorcerers, I will 100% tell you in the years I have played D&D, if you are putting enough faith in your party to say, "Hey, I don't need high AC, they're going to protect me," you're naive and kind of dumb because there is no party ever that will protect you in every situation, in every scenario, and can always protect you in every situation, in every scenario. Always take the backup plan to be able to save yourself if you need to. Like in our last campaign, I didn't have good AC, I didn't have any good armor, so I just decided to become an undead.
Your ring of protection +5 was like the only thing. saving you on so many occasions.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and again, that's it was a +5. I didn't buy any armor in that game. I didn't even get armor in that game until we got the golem armor.
Yeah, and then you did everything you could to actually properly use it. There's that particular set. It's like, hey, I can be used by Arcanists, and if Arcanists use me, they get a bonus to the caster level because it's golem armor designed to be used by, well, mages.
Casters. Yeah. Yep.
Uh,
But up until that point, I didn't have armor in that game.
yeah, you over relied on the Ring of Protection, and then once you became a vampire, you loved the AC bonus that gave you, and any other things that you got that increased your AC was like Amulet of Natural Armor +3.
Yeah, and then everything else I just gave away.
Yeah, because like you either couldn't use it or already had it. Like, oh, here's a bunch of amulets of natural armor +1. I'm just gonna let everyone else have that because I have a +3. Here's rings of protection +2 and +1. I don't need them. I have a ring of protection. Everyone else needs that. Oh, someone else got bracers of armor. Yeah, you know what? They need that. I'm not gonna fight them for it. I would like it, but they got it.
Yep.
Nice
Yep.
armor
I
and
was
shields, everyone else.
actually that game I was the only player without armor for 5 months of the game sessions.
It was longer than that. It was
Was
closer to
it? No,
yeah.
you.
It was closer to 7 months before you got the golem armor, and even then you didn't initially use it because you waited till you got the opportunity to get the feats that yet let you use it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because I spent like almost a month and a half trying to get the feats. Yeah. So
Yeah,
realistically, I mean, mage armor was a humongous help in that time. Because that was one of the very low tier things I picked up. I
yeah.
didn't use it very often. But when I did use it, it was because I definitely fucking needed it.
And there were several times where it's like I'm gonna go toe to toe with these fog giants because no one else really is because they want to focus on rain stuff. And I
Yeah,
gotta save
yeah, it
that
was.
party member.
Yeah, it was interesting, but yeah, no, mage armor, 100% take it. If you're not taking it as a spellcaster, you're naive
Yeah, it's a
and maybe
very
a little bit special.
yeah. It's probably one of the best beginner spells to get because again, being able to go get that and that +4 to AC at level 1 because it's the first level spell. You can get it at level 1. It's grand. While other people are trying to get like I want to do damage and stuff. It's like that's great, but when the enemy can get to you and hit you, you're the
Yeah,
easiest
yeah,
person to hit.
always. Yeah, no, you always again as a spellcaster main, and I will preach this every time. Always have a backup plan. It is an absolute necessary. I've been playing D&D. Christ, Jacob, when did you get me started? What, 10, 12 years ago? I have always almost
It's been a
exclusively played
while.
sorcerers, and I will tell you that again, and I will preach this. You are the squishiest person. You can definitely deal some of the most bizarre damage because you can definitely combo some weird shit, but you're squishy. Take the mage armor, take the AC bonus. It's so good and so worth it.
Yeah. The next spell is also a really good spell in any circumstance. Mount. It lets you summon a riding horse for 2 hours per caster level. Reason why I love it is because once you get to a certain level, you don't care about actual mounts because you're like, okay, it's 2 hours per caster level. I'm level 4. I can have it last for 8 hours. We're not even traveling 8 hours. We're traveling like 6 hours. So the spell We can dilly that a little bit. You don't have to spend money on the mount because mounts can get expensive. Keeping the mount alive can be expensive. The spell goes, here's a mount. And if you're high enough level or get the right other magical items, you can end up casting a spell multiple times to give multiple party members a usable mount. Because that's how
Yeah,
nifty this spell is.
yeah, that's one of those spells I've always overlooked, and I regret that decision a lot.
Yeah, does the DM does have the DM prerogative to switch what mount is summoned based on the primary mounts used in the world. So, for instance, if you want to get technical, if the world's is aquatic based, instead of it being a riding horse, it can be the I just had the name. Well, there's an aquatic horse. You can have it be that instead. It's not going to have like a
Let's be real. It's DM prerogative.
yeah.
You can make it. You can make it ride an Eye of fucking Cthulhu. I mean,
I mean, to a
you,
certain
you,
point, it's like here's a giant eyeball that picks you up and flies you to where you need to be.
yeah. I mean, it's
So the
to be
DM,
fair, you can DM prerogative allows you to do a lot of
yeah,
things.
and that's mainly because all the spell does, it's used for riding. It's not a combat creature. You can't use it for any other benefit other than transportation. So the form can change based on DM prerogative.
Now, my question with that would be: could you still perform mounted combat on it?
Yes, it functions
Okay,
as a
so
normal
so
mount, with the exception of it can't attack itself.
right. So so I mean, you can make this really badass mount, but in reality, it's just all looks. It's not
Yeah,
really
it's
functional.
speed. That's all you're really going for. So it's like, it also, because it's technically a spectral mount, unless someone dispels magic or does an anti-magic field, you don't have to worry about it being targeted because it's not gonna care. Someone goes, I swing
Right.
at its legs with my great sword. Yay! It stares at the guy like, I don't know why you did that. I'm not a real horse.
I'm not here.
I'm not exposed to actually have this response, but I have this response because that's how I'm a fake horse. And it's like, it's a spectral horse. It's not a, it doesn't look like a 100% horse. It's like partly transparent. So it's like, it, why?
What?
That, like, why go after the spectral mount? It's,
Yeah, it's just it's one of those funnies.
yeah. Uh, the next spell is Obscuring Mist. You cast it, and a fog surrounds you. The higher your caster level is, the bigger the fog is. And it's not that bad of a I don't really want to be observed spell, because if a target's too far away, they can't actually see you. If they are close enough to actually see you, they get penalties to swinging at you. So it's a nice, I want to escape without actually them realizing where I'm escaping to. Or if you really want your rogue to be extra stabby against the bad guy, Obscuring Mist. Uh, so it's a okay spell. Then we have Summon Monster 1, which works as every single time it's been brought up. You summon a exoplanar creature to fight for you. Here's one that people always try to abuse, and when they can't abuse it, they immediately say it's a stupid spell that shouldn't exist. Unseen Servant. It is,
Yeah, I feel like that would probably be a little bit OP.
yeah, it's pretty much, it's an invisible force that obeys your commands. And a lot of people assume that it's like, oh, it's I'm going to summon an invisible entity and it's going to attack someone. It's like, no, it's a non-combat entity. It doesn't have the ability to attack things. It's a if you want to know why wizard towers are usually quite clean and everything's usually quite organized, it's because invisible servants. They use that to pick up their messes. They use that to prepare their food, clean their clothes, sweep things,
Now,
dust
can can
things.
that can that invisible servant work like a normal like minion? Can you use it to transport a touch spell?
No,
That's bullshit.
because it's not an extension of yourself. It is a force that technically it does its best to follow your orders to the best of its abilities. You can't use it to activate magical devices unless it's something simple as in like, hey, when this person passes through here, pull the lever, Kronk. Because it can pull levers, it can push buttons, it can as long I can't remember the weight allowance, but as long as something weighs a certain amount, it can technically push things. It's one of those. It cannot be used to make direct attack actions or hostile actions. It can technically be set up to do things that happen to cause problems, but not actually directing. So, like pulling a lever when someone walks through a hallway, it pulls the lever. It's not actually activating the pitfall trap with spikes at the bottom that the person falls down into and impales himself in. It's just pulling this lever. It's like that. So if you think outside the box, you can have it used for combat things. It's just it can't be directly in it. As in, you can't give it a sword and have it go stab someone, or like here's a battering ram, go smash down that door.
Yeah.
So it does have its limitations. It's one of those how intelligent the player is and their actual knowledge of the spell. Because you can have some smart people use spells stupidly. And so when I say a lot of people, in my personal experience as a player and a DM who summon the unseen servant and like, okay, here's a sword. Now kill anyone that comes through that door. It's like, one, the sword's not invisible. Only the entity is. They tried to argue against it. It's like, no, you can see the sword. Only the entity is invisible. Two, it has no combat statistics. It's not a combatant. It's just going to have a floating sword standing by the door because it can't swing. So all it's really doing is awkwardly waving a sword. So they go, oh, it's a stupid spell. It's useless spell. Why does everyone have it? It's like, well, because it can be used to transport things from point A to point B, clean things, do extra random things that like a sorcerer doesn't want to do because again, a lot of mages are lazy. They don't want to clean their tower. They don't want to pick up from that experiment. They don't want to make their own actual food. They don't want to like, clean their clothes. They want to do dumb magic shenanigans. Unseen Servant helps them do that. The next spell is a spell that I always have to stare at people and go, wow, you don't understand what that spell is. Comprehend languages. This spell is extremely
Mommy said
simple.
I speak good.
Yeah, it's extremely straightforward and simple. You understand all spoken and written languages. So if a creature with a language speaks, you understand it. If you don't understand it, it's either not an actual language or there's some magical shenanigans. You pick up a book in a different language that you don't know. Well, comprehend languages. You can read it. You can't identify the language because it doesn't auto let you translate like that, but it's like, oh, I can read this language. I may not be able to speak dwarf, but I can read this book because this spell. It does not let other things understand you. It's a one-sided spell because it's literally you understand all spoken languages, not the monster you're trying to talk with that doesn't know what you're saying. It doesn't automatically understand you. It's looking at you like, oh, great, you now understand me, but I still don't understand you. What are you saying? Uh, and several people have tried to go, well, what is this creature over here saying? Um, that's an owlbear. So, comprehend languages does not work. Wrong spell.
I could tell you by looking at it what it wants, and your dinner.
It's like, wrong spell. Uh, is it still a really good spell? Yes. It can get you out of so many random troubles. You can use it to eavesdrop. You can read stuff you currently, well, you used to not be able to read. But even like recently in my Thursday campaign, I had to look at my aunt and go, yeah, you understand that the air elemental wants to, pull the air out of the lungs on that party member. But that does not mean it automatically understands what you're saying. Does it understands what its master says, because the spell that bound it to its master, but it does not mean it actually understands you. Because again, it doesn't speak your language you're speaking. But I have comprehend languages. That's a one-sided spell. So it's like, make your logic make sense, because it doesn't make sense. But moving on, so we don't spend so much time here. It's another useful spell that I rarely actually see used. Detect secret doors.
God, that spell would have came in so much handy.
Reveals hidden doors within 60 feet of you. The only times I've seen this spell actually used is in times where it's like, there's no secret doors, but I cast the spell. Yeah, which means I get to look you in the face and say, there's no secret doors. There's no hidden doors. There's no concealed doors. Then why can't we find the entrance? Probably because it's either A, outside of 60 feet, or B, it's not hidden or actually concealed.
Or C, you're just kind of stupid.
Yeah. Or the entrance to it that you're trying to find doesn't have a door, so therefore it doesn't qualify for the spell because it reveals hidden doors, not archways, not openings.
Yeah, that's a very that's a spell that would definitely piss me off.
Yeah, because it's limited to only doors. And there's been multiple times, it's like one of the reasons why I stopped using secret doors in a lot of my stuff is because the rogue never actually looks for it, or if they do, they look everywhere that it's not. Or like elves, if you look in stat block, if elves come within a certain proximity to a door, the DM gets to make a roll, and if it's high enough, the DM gets to go, hey, there's something off about that wall right there. You should investigate it. It's like, well, what do you mean? Well, one of your elven abilities just tinged off. There must be some sort of secret entrance here. But it's
Good
like,
job, Skippy. I'm glad you figured that out on your own.
yeah, it's like, just if they use this spell, they'll realize that if they actually went around, it's like if the elves in the party, and it's always when there's more than one, if any of those elves would have actually come over here, I could have done the roll, which could have triggered secret die roll. There might be something there. or if the rogue would actually go search an area, even when you say it looks like there's a well-worn path to this particular area, but it looks like it dead ends. Isn't that mysterious? Wouldn't you want to go look? No, I look behind these barrels over here. It's like,
Yeah, you're fucking stupid, aren't you?
your 28
Your mother
search
definitely.
check failed. I search again. This is the ninth time
Your
you've
mother.
rolled for this
Your
area. It's not here.
your mother definitely still puts a helmet on your head when you go to work, doesn't she?
It's like, I know who was dropped on their head more than once.
But what the fuck?
It's like, I know I'm not that smart, but please stop making me look smart.
Please stop making me look good.
Yeah, it's like, stop. Yeah. The next spell is a spell that, surprisingly, is also not actually used that much, unless it's like blatantly obvious that the party should actually use it. Detect undead.
Okay, now listen. To be fair, we had the spell, we just never used it.
Like that's the point. It's like multiple campaigns, there'd be a party member with Detect Undead, fully knowing that, like, okay, you guys have to sneak through this area and stuff here, steal this item and get out without alerting anything. Well, what's our main observation? Well, it's a vampire's castle that's using skeletons and zombies because he's also a necromancer. So wouldn't it make sense for Detect Undead to be used to circumvent, blundering into undead patrols? Yeah. Yeah. Is it used? No. No. It's always used it's like, obviously you don't need that spell. Why? Because that large group of undead moving towards us you don't have to be an expert on undead to know they're zombies. Well, just in case, was it the rotting flesh or the moaning of the zombies that gave it away that they were zombies? I had to make sure. It's like,
It was it could be the fact that they just three of them just jumped our rogue and picked his brain clean.
it's like, you're pretty sure they're chanting brains, brains. It's like, they're hitting all the cues for classic slow zombies. Why are you casting the spell to confirm that they're zombies when you already get the check and it's pretty freaking obvious they're zombies? It's like, you don't need Detect Undead to know that's a vampire. Well, how do you know? Well, maybe it's because you opened the door and you found it draining the blood of another party member, and it went the ha at you with its fangs sticking out.
That's not a vampire. That's George.
Yeah, it's just George. George is like, yes, I'm pretty sure the mummy that just pimp slapped you and gave you mummy rot isn't a mummy until you verify with Detect Undead that it's an undead. It's like it literally busted out of his sarcophagus, bum rushed to you. It's like, all the evidence is already there. You don't need that. But moving on to a spell.
Let's be real here.
Okay.
Let's be real. Playing D&D has definitely shown me that there is some really fucking stupid people.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I mean, I am by no means ever going to claim that I am, one of the sharpest tools in the shed, but D&D has definitely shown me that there is some people who
You're not the dullest.
I'm not the smartest, but I sure as fuck ain't the dumbest.
Uh, yeah. Yeah. This Thursday, there's some dumb stuff that happened. That's nothing to do with these particular spells. So I'm not going to go into it other than the fact that I had to look at a person who's supposedly pretty intelligent and just go, "This is all your fault." And we both know
Mom
who I'm
pissed you off
talking
again, huh?
about. The what?
I said mom pissed you off again, huh?
Oh, yes. Uh, gotta love this is most likely a stealth mission, but then what's deliberately separate ourselves from the party, then make a lot of noise, and then get confused to why that the monster's there, while then you run towards the party making even more noise, then getting upset that it's where the party is now, because you led it to the party, and it nearly
It
killed
wasn't
your
her
bug.
fault.
It's like, let's ring the dinner
It
bell
wasn't her fault.
and then continue ringing it. Yeah. This is not the argument we're looking for.
It wasn't her fault.
Yeah, we're just going to go with that. The next spell is a spell that people get, not understanding how expensive it is, and then getting pissed off because they wasted a spell slot. Identify. Now, I will give it's a decent spell because you cast it, you touch an item, keyword touch because you have to touch it, and it determines the properties of that set magical item. There's two things that make this spell not necessarily super good unless you have a hour per casting, does it has a casting time of an hour, and B, 100 gold pieces to burn on the spell. And since you can only identify a single item with it, if you have like 5 items you don't know what they are, you have to spend 500 gold pieces to cast the spell 5 times, and you have to use 5 hours of your time to identify the spell. So you cannot really dilly in the middle of combat identify the spell, identify this magical item, see if you can use it for this fight or not. Because like, you don't have an hour to cast the spell. And a lot of people take the spell thinking that they can get around having to pay 100 gold pieces to have it identified, completely forgetting that it costs 100 gold pieces for you to cast the spell. Meaning, all these stores that cast the spell to identify your magical items are literally going, cover the cost of the spell and I'll identify it to you. Give me these items, give me X amount of gold pieces, and come back either by the end of the day or tomorrow, and you'll know what the items are. So it's I don't recommend taking that spell until you're significantly high enough level to have the funds and the time. Because people don't know how to actually read their frickin' spells. Yes, I've had to stare at people and go, do you have 100 gold pieces to burn? No. And you're trying to identify this before you go in the dungeon? Yes. Do you think you have an hour? No. Then you can't cast the spell because you don't have the time and you don't have the resources. Well, that's stupid. Read the spell next time. But moving on to the next spell that actually is pretty decent. True Strike. You cast a spell, and your next attack roll gets a plus 20. which,
Damn, that's pretty good, actually.
yeah, it's freaking excellent, especially since it's a first level spell. So you work, it's like round 1, you cast it. Round 2, you do something that counts as an attack roll. Like a spell that requires you to roll to hit. Well, because it's your next attack roll, you get a plus 20 to it. Which, the main reason why a lot of people don't take it is, one, they don't want to waste a turn prepping to get a bonus that's only going to apply once to a single attack. And 2, they want to pick what attack it goes to. When it's like,
Yeah, it's a spell that requires planning, and people don't want to plan.
yeah, it's like, that's exactly it. Some forethought will cover that. But no, they don't want to waste the turn, and they want it to apply to very specific attacks. Not the very next one, but like, because I have like 3 attacks, I want it to go for the lowest one. It's like, no, it's going to go for the next attack roll you make, so it's going to be the highest one. But I don't need it for the highest one. It does not care.
Well, that's too damn bad.
Well, you got to say a little bit more like, well, that's too damn bad.
Well, that's too damn bad. No, honestly, if you put a little forethought in, it's a spell that if you have a half a brain cell, you'll be fine. But it sounds to me like people just don't want to have that half of a brain cell to actually do it.
Exactly. They don't. Because playing this game for over 20 years has made me, I'll say it before and I'll say it again. It's made me realize that people just don't like to read the spells and don't like to plan things. Because it doesn't take a genius to do a lot of this planning. But they don't like to. And it shows. The next spell is a spell that pisses everyone off. Charm Person.
I
It
love
makes
that
one
spell.
person your friend. Now, the caveat to this particular spell is creature typing. It doesn't work on animals. That pisses people off. It doesn't work on aberrations. That pisses people off. It doesn't work on monstrous humanoids. That pisses people off. It doesn't work on the giant spider that's trying to kill you. That pisses people off. It's like, it'll work on that orc, or that goblin, or that bugbear. It won't work on that illithid, because that's an aberration. No, it won't work on the dragon. For several reasons. 1, SR.
You
2,
mean I
it's a
can't fuck the dragon?
It's like, not with that spell. You have to, pucker those buns and prep for that fortitude saving throw, because you are the little spoon.
Oh, it's a male dragon. I'm in danger.
Yes, and it wants you to scream, because it's not changing form. But yeah,
Joke's on it. I've been preparing for this my whole life.
enlarge booty.
I enlarged just my ass. Oh god, that's so bad. I'm done. I quit.
Someone's gonna see this and then go, "I want that spell." Ha ha.
And this is how we got canceled.
Exactly.
why, why does everything devolve into some form of fuckery with me? God, I gotta stop.
Yeah. Yeah, you went down that rabbit hole this time.
I usually do. I own that. I own that 100%.
Yeah. But yeah, it is a spell that doesn't work on every single creature type. It doesn't, and it pisses people off because they they want it to work on it. Literally everything. I've literally
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a lot like it's like when when I was playing with Dominate Creature there for a while. You really have to pick and choose what you're fucking with.
yeah. Uh, I've literally had to look a person in their eyes and go, charm person won't work on the lich. Why not? It's a person. It's an undead. That's a
Used to be a
spell
person.
that does not work on undead because it looks at you and goes, huh, that's not an undead specific spell. I auto pass. And there's always going to
Yeah,
be that.
unfortunately,
Go ahead.
people don't ever seem to realize that undead have the ability to pass a lot of those mental checks without having to make them. They don't really need to worry about it. They're dead. They don't think anymore.
Sliding off the bed. There you go. You were tired. Stop sliding off the bed. Last thing I need you is you to hurt yourself.
Oh, I finally fucking got it.
Good. No. Um, but I said there's always that person that went, well, in this game I played over here, the DM let it happen. It's like, one, that's not me. Two, DM shenanigans prerogatives. And three, that person there has already admitted they had no idea what they're doing because they literally just started not only playing D&D, but they're immediately becoming a DM solely because people wanted an additional DM and he's being taken advantage of. Because again, doesn't know what they're doing.
I don't take advantage of DMs usually.
Well, there's a difference between accepting their challenge and taking advantage.
Listen, I'm just saying, if I didn't get challenged, I wouldn't have taken on the. I wouldn't have done it.
You wouldn't have done a checklist.
I wouldn't have done. I wouldn't have made my Geneva Convention of D&D. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying, I accept the challenges.
You know it's bad when a DM goes, here's the Mages Geneva Convention. What's that mean? If you want to be a legal practicing wizard in any of these countries, here's a list of spells you cannot cast in these countries, and here's a list of spells that if you cast in those countries, here's what you cannot do with them. What the hell? It one moron. That's all it takes. Like for a while, fire spells weren't allowed in a lot of my games because one person wouldn't stop burning stuff down. And one of the spells we're going to go over today is Burning Hands, which does a die 4 fire damage per level to a max of 5 die 4, and it's a 15-foot burning cone. That spell has started a mansion fire that nearly cost several party members' lives and nearly cost them plot important magical items. Nearly burnt down the party's flying ship because they decided that the ship could take it, despite the fact they lit the ship on fire. And several other buildings that were burnt down because they're like, I didn't realize it was burnable. It's like, it's a wooden structure. And you deliberately casted it to burn down the door to make it easier to get
I'm just.
inside.
I'm just gonna say, I'm so glad that this was not me.
Yes, Wall of Fire does do that on that slanted roof because roofs like this, the wall of fires like that, so it's actually hitting part of it. You burnt down that means started that burnt there to be on fire. It burnt a while. Plot important stuff lost because you burnt down the building it was in. Yes, the creature can fly. Yes, you trap the entire party in a wall of fire. Yes, a party member did die because you decided to not dismiss it because for some stupid reason you did not hear it flew above the wall of fire, used its reach to reach down and start smacking party members. With multiple people going, can you disperse it so we can run? It's above us. Can you stop the spell so we can run? Party member dies. Thank you. Now it's
It's
dispersed.
finally gone.
Ah, but moving on to hypnosis. Well, hypnotism. What this does is it fascinates 2d4 worth of creatures. The spell goes into deeper details on certain restrictions, but one of the things that you have to remember is this is the same Team Farva. Because it's the closest creatures in the infected area that gets infected, which means if you roll high enough, all you really affect is party members. When I say this spell has been used in fights where the creatures were not affected by it, because when you have 3 skeletons, they're immune to hypnotism. So when you roll it, you get a 7. It's like, oh, great. There's 4 other party members. Their combined hit dice is a 6. What's that mean? Oh, it means you're fascinated the entire party. What about the skeletons? They're autoimmune, therefore don't count. Thank you for just killing multiple party members, because for X amount of time, they're fascinated with you. Thank you.
Thank you for picking off your own party. For me, that made my life a lot easier.
It's like, I don't have to kill the party when the party does it for me. It's also one of the spells that, because people go, oh, it has its limit of 8 hit dice, so it's going to very easily become a useless spell, so I'm not going to ever take it. Even though, if used actually correctly, you can literally save the day. Or at least help. Which it's the same for the spell Sleep, which puts 4 hit dice of creatures into magical slumber, which means it can be 1 creature up to 4 hit dice, or, as it says, creatures, 4 creatures of 1 hit die. This spell, I'm not gonna lie, the most I've ever seen it used has been against other party members. Because nothing says, we need to stop arguing about stuff, then, oh hey, you can't argue if your character's asleep. But because it caps out at 4 hit die, there is a lot of people who, at a certain point, just refuse to take it or decide to get rid of it because they're like, the creatures we want to fight, this spell doesn't work on. Which is some forethought in their thing, but it's still real easy because it's still worth having because there's always going to be those times when there's creatures it can work on that you're going to not want to bother with. Because again, not every fight is going to have a super high hit die monster in it. It could have 1 creature 4 hit die or several 1 hit die creatures. So it still has its uses. But like I said, the most time I've seen it being used has been literally on one another. So same team. We already talked about Burning Hands. So, Magic Missile. I have a love-hate relationship with Magic Missile. Is it one of the, generally speaking, good spells? Yes. I'm not going to lie. It's a first level damage spell that you don't have to roll to hit. And as long as you maintain, as long as you target something within range of the spell, all you have to do is see part of it and you hit them. Die 4 plus 1 force damage with an additional missile per 2 levels above first to a max of 5 at level 9. You don't have to target the same creature. You can target up to 5 different creatures, but no two of which can be more than 30 feet apart. And a lot of people mess that up. The range of the spell is 100 feet plus 10 feet per caster level. So if you're level 9 and the target's 200 or more feet away, you cannot target it even if you see it because it's out of the range of the spell. So there's a lot of people that mess that up. And the two best magic feats for this spell, without getting into outsourcing to third-party books, is Maximize and Empowered, because with both of those spells, you turn a die 4 plus 1 into 7 damage each. And when it comes to some of the third-party spells from non-base books, but some of the additional add-on books, you can end up looking at a target, aiming your hand, and you feel like you're a sea whiz. Because there's feats that just amplify the amount of magic missiles you can cast. There's like twin spell that whenever you cast a spell, you're now doing it twice. There's repeating spell that the spell now gets a free casting on your next turn. So there's a bundle of really nice things there. But overall, Magic Missile, even at its best, is still really, really good because it's a I don't have to roll to hit, take some damage spell. So it's always a good one to take. I actually prefer it over Burning Hands because you can be farther away. And technically higher odds of doing more damage. The next spell, it's a spell that no one really actually takes, despite the fact it's probably one of the best damage spells at level 1. Shocking Grasp. When you cast a spell, you have to touch the target, which pretty much means you're most likely provoking attack of opportunity for casting the spell. But once you touch them,
unless you think ahead and you go ahead and slap out a
Mage Hand.
Minion. If you have Mage Hand, Minion. Again, folks, if you are a sorcerer, if you are a warlock, if you are a wizard, if you are anybody who can get the Mage Hand, take it. It's like the Mage Armor. It is fantastic spell, and it's a very, very handy. It is not a combat spell, but it is a handy. Sorry, it's a cantrip.
Yeah.
It's cantrip. But it's handy.
Yeah.
And I cannot stress enough how handy it is, because in a case like this with Shocking Grasp, you could just be like, oh, Mage Hand, now take this Shocking Grasp to the enemy for me.
Pretty much. As long as you pass the concentration checks to maintain it, you can get the hand to where the enemy is and go, hey, Shocking Grasp. Oh, thank God I have Mage Hand. Therefore, you're not provoking attack of opportunity, and as long as you succeed on the attack roll, a Washitov. They take a die 6 per caster level to a max of 5 die 6. That is...
Yeah, again, and I apologize. I don't mean to cut you off real quick, but if you are playing D&D, it is about using your imagination. Use your imagination. You can do some really, really interesting and cool shit if you just talk to your DM like, hey, I want to try to do this really, really cool thing. Is it within the rules to do it, or will you allow it? And I could tell you right now, Lux here is one of the easiest going DMs I've ever dealt with. He will let you get away with some really interesting shit as long as he can keep it within the rules to a certain degree. And I'll tell you what, Mage Hand with any touch spell is probably the funnest thing you can possibly pull off if your DM allows you to do it. And it is within the rules to do so. It is 100% still within the rules to do it. But again, if your DM allows it.
Yeah.
But it makes life so much easier when you have to use touch spells like Shocking Grasp. You don't provoke your attack of opportunity. You're squishy as hell, so you're able to do this without having to get up close and personal. Always use your imagination with D&D.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah, I do agree with you on that one. That open the box of imagination and play with it. It's going to make your life funner. Um, and with that being said, Shocking Grasp is one of those spells that I rarely see anyone take because when it comes to damage spells, they rather take like Burning Hands or Magic Missile or something that keeps them going just long enough to get like Fireball or something higher level because a lot of people think that low level spells suck for damage. But like right here, here's one that you do die 6 per level, max of 5 die 6. So once you reach level 5, you're capped out on how much damage it does. But even the same, that's somewhere between 5 to 30 damage of electricity. Unlike fire or cold electricity, there's less things immune or resistant to that than there are fire
Mm.
or cold. So it's like right
And not
there.
only that, but you always have again, and this is where your imagination comes into play. A lot of times, if you use an electric ability on, say you're standing in a puddle of water. Say if you jump to the edge and use Shocking Grasp on the enemy that's still in that little puddle of water, most times your DM's gonna be like, you know what, that was smart. Let me give you extra damage.
Yeah. Uh, or if like there's a metal spiral staircase, you're at the top, and there's bad guys running up it. With those staircases, you kind of are stuck having to grab onto railings to make sure you can probably go it up. You can go, if I Shocking Grasp it, will you let it hit all of them? Most of the
And again,
it's like, okay, that's using your noggin. That's using metal electrocuting to electrifying it, which will shock everything there. So it's okay. Roll damage, and all those people will get the electrocution.
right,
Yeah.
and that's just, use your it's D&D. You are meant to have fun, and you're meant to think outside the box. If you are doing everything to the letter by the books just because you read it, you're not playing D&D. You're playing a book. Play with your imagination. It's a game that you're meant to do so. You're meant to have fun. You're
Yeah.
meant to be out of pocket.
Yeah. The
Y-
even though the rules are there to keep everything structured and keep everything working and keep everything together, there is always room for some wiggling. There's always room for things to be technically taken out of context a bit. And that's where like using your imagination and trying to have fun with something really gets in. So as long as you're not violating the core aspect of how things are supposed to work, you can technically get away with murder. And
I
Shocking
mean,
Grasp.
Lux here, Lux here can attest to this. I am one of his favorite people to play with because I will adhere to rules and I don't usually give him a hard time. But I'm also the one who usually finds the loopholes. so,
Or it just makes me
so,
grin and smile and go, "Oh, you really want to superheat and then super cool that stone? Yes, because you're gonna get through
yeah.
it. Okay, how does marble react when you superheat it and then super cool it? Oh no,
I
it's like
forgot it was explosive. But yeah, I am one of those players that I have the knowledge. I do forget. But
Yeah, like
again, it's D&D. Have
using
fun.
like using fireball to go, oh, there's a type of bone disease in this place that like kills you by turning your bones into metal. Let's make sure we don't get it. Fireball. I'm not sure it worked.
Right.
Fireball. We're sanitizing this area. Here's a third fireball. And that was a, well, you just melted and damaged a lot of the stuff the party needed to get stuff done. Done. But there's no disease. Correct. You did sanitize it. You did
I
sanitize it.
I worked again, I will loophole the shit out of everything I can, and Lux could attest to this. I will not always. I will unintentionally destroy shit, or
Well,
sometimes intentionally, depending on what kind of a dick I want to be. But at the end of the day, it's about having fun, using your imagination. This disease. He talks about this disease, and what he doesn't tell you is at the time we were on it. We were trapped on an island. We couldn't get off of it. There was no way to get any other form of a cure for at least what I think it was like 10 or 12 days of travel.
because no one
And
had removed disease.
we're yeah, right, because none of us had to remove disease. We were still, I was stuck at level 2 at the time still. Everybody else was like barely level 6, and nobody was really thinking about who the party healer was going to be at the time. And so we were just like, well, what is a we did some we found the research on the disease at the place, and it was like, oh, if you superheat this disease it will dissipate. And I'm like, all right guys, everybody stand together, this is gonna suck. So we stood at one end of the room, I fireballed the entire middle of the room, and it sanitized it.
Because you did more than
It
one
killed the
fireball.
disease.
Well,
Listen, I
you
again,
were paranoid.
I was rightfully so, but again, sometimes you really just need to think outside the box. Is it always
Don't.
in the party's best? You should always do it in the party's best interest. Honestly, if you are playing this game and you are playing it in the party's best interest, 9 times out of 10, you could probably get away with fucking murder, and the
Yeah.
DM would just be like, yeah, all right, whatever.
Well,
If you're doing things and you're just being a dick to be a dick, you probably deserve whatever you're about to get.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you're playing for other people, you're usually safe. If you talk to the DM, hey, listen, I'm going to do this and this, but well, you might kill a party member. Yeah, but I could save these 6 if I do this one thing and possibly kill myself and one other. And 9 times out of 10, your DM will turn it into like this heroic thing, and it's fantastic. And it again, just use your imagination. Try to play for the party. If you have somebody in the party you don't like, occasionally, oops, I fireballed that person. It happens. But again, it's D&D. Think outside the box. Don't take everything at face value. Get creative with it. Combine your spells to be creative. Like, and he talks about how we superheat in super cold marble. And I know we've talked about this in the past, but it seemed like a good idea. But it was a joint effort. It was me, it was the shaman, you know, so you had me superheating the floor. The shaman had the ability to create water, and we comboed. We comboed poorly, but we comboed,
Yeah.
and it's just think outside the box. Have fun with it. It's
Yeah.
D&D. It's not that fucking deep, but use your head.
Yeah. It's a. If you are trying to be imaginative, work doing your willingness to work with the DM, and just generally trying not to ruin the game for a lot of other people, you can go far. The term "you're gonna go far, kid" can be applied to you because the things you're doing is in the benefit of the party, not necessarily yourself. Your ideas you're coming up with technically can work, like the superheating and the supercooling of stone does have the ability to crack and break stone. Knowing the type of
Right.
stone will determine just how effective that actually is, but it's still boom. No, knowing that, hey, this contact based disease, if it's superheated with fire, it destroys it. Well, okay, let's sanitize this area. Fireball. It's like, okay, the fireball is being cast through the staff of fire, because well, a second level caster casting fireball isn't really going to work. But hey, this is a ninth level staff, so here's a ninth level fireball. Just in case, here's another ninth level fireball. Oh, there's 2 stories to this building. There's another ninth level fireball. So yeah, you may lose important information or damage certain things that you may want. But hey, you're removing a disease that can horrifically decimate the entire party. Especially if it's one that goes, oh, I don't care if you're undead. If you have bones, I'm affecting you.
Right, right. And again, it's you just need to sometimes you burn up the important information that you were looking for. It happens.
Yeah, it it
It
it,
happens.
it happens as long as you're uh, not being a dick about it. Like casting burning hands to get rid of a zombie while you're on the stairs to a very burnable house, and then not caring that you literally are burning down the house. That will get you in more trouble than I got to sanitize this area from this disease to make sure everyone can actually not die from it. Yes, I know. Give me a moment, you gorgeous, gorgeous dog. But that being said, we are at the end of the episode. We will finish the first level spells next week, and we'll start with Tensor's floating disc, which, uh, if people would like, I could give some information about Tensor himself, because he is a very powerful individual. That's why he has a spell named after him, because that's one of his spells. But we will catch you next week on Out of State DMing. Thank you for watching, and please remember to like and subscribe.